What's going on, guys? Hopefully you are enjoying the very first day of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Hopefully you guys have been cooking, but for those of you who are looking for a little bit of help, I wanted to put you guys on some games. So one of the big things that I see a lot of people doing right away, or actually not doing, is stepping while they are trying to fight. I put a clip in the background here. I'm playing as 17, and you're going to see me absolutely cook this player with pure stepping. He cannot hit me. And if you're someone who is just spamming Vanish, yes, it can work, but you leave a lot on the table if you're not using your steps. And as you can see, it doesn't really matter if you're playing as a weaker character. Although the game is supposed to be unbalanced, if you have disgusting movement and you actually know what you're doing, you can use characters who have simply no chance on paper and actually do some serious damage. And I want to say this as someone who's been coaching fighting games professionally for the last 5 years. It doesn't matter if you think that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a party game, a fighting game, a game for sweats, or a game for just having fun. All the rules still apply. If you have disgusting movement and have the ability to put your opponent in an unfavorable animation, such as whiffing a grab or charging an attack when they shouldn't be, or it doesn't really matter. As long as they are grabbing for the air and you are making them whiff, you have a chance to actually do something and fight back. And this applies for literally any game. It doesn't even matter if you're playing a fighting game or if you're playing 2K. If you have the ability to break someone's ankles, you want to try to exploit that and use that in your gameplay. And I want to say this as well, that I am most definitely not a pro at Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is my first day just like it's anybody else's first day. But with that being said, the rules still apply. If you can have good movement and you have good defense and you make it borderline impossible for your opponent to fight back, you want to exploit that. It doesn't matter if you're playing Smash Ultimate, if you're playing Tekken, Street Fighter, or Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And also, this is not just for competitive players. If you want to use this in ranked, you absolutely can and you absolutely should. However, the story mode and the custom battles do be going crazy. Honestly, for me, I was stuck on the Nappa custom battle for a very long time until I learned how to actually move, because it's a 5v1 custom battle and it doesn't really matter if you have crazy damage output. If you're getting destroyed by chip damage, you're gonna lose. So if you're someone who's struggling in the story mode, if you're struggling in the custom battles, like I had mentioned before, and I'm gonna say it again, work on your movement. Another big part about having good movement is getting your opponent to panic. Of course, this is not gonna work against computer players, but against actual players, whether it's your friends or if you're in ranked mode, sometimes just taking that small step back and seeing what buttons they're mashing can allow you to actually reverse them. So for example, if they're waiting for you to mash on them so they can use Sonic Sway to try and reverse you, you can step back and throw out a special just like this, or you can even go for a grab as well. And I know right now that we're talking about movement, but if you're playing as a character that has an insanely fast grab, definitely use that shit up close. I'm sure there's a lot of characters in the game that have really fast grabs, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku is crazy. I get grabbed by that character way too much. Pause. But anyways, I want to let you guys know that I am going to be dropping some guides. It's not necessarily going to be for competitive players, but just for anybody who might be a beginner who's trying to learn the game just to get to that next level or at least see some sort of improvement. This game has a crazy skill ceiling, so you'd be very surprised, especially with what you see online about how people say this game is for mashers or you can kind of just go crazy, but there actually is a lot to learn, and when people start making those crazy custom battles, you're going to be super thankful that you actually know some stuff. I'm releasing a YouTube short in a couple of hours. It's just a very basic guide, but if you're interested in learning from the ground up and following along with the series, and I highly recommend subscribing because I'm going to be dropping a lot of these little tips that are definitely going to help you with your game. And like I said, the video itself is just the basics, but we don't want to get too crazy off rip. I want to make sure that you guys don't have any holes in your development, whether it's from a casual or a competitive perspective, whatever you want to call it. I will say that I put a lot of work into this short. It's a very short video because obviously it's a short, but I feel like I went pretty crazy for you guys. So hopefully you guys appreciate it and you guys enjoy it. And as for the rest of the video, I suppose I can do a little bit of commentary as far as my thought process while I'm playing. Of course, this is just for the entertainment purpose so that you don't have nothing to listen to for the rest of the video. But as you can see, for the rest of the video here, I'm going to be playing, I don't even know the characters yet, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm playing as Kale or Kefla or Caulifla. I think this is Caulifla. Don't flame me for that in the comments, but I think I'm playing as Caulifla right now. And you'll see that for the majority of the gameplay, I'm trying my best to actually force something to happen up close. Once I figured out how the stepping was working and I was able to get up close to somebody and force them to panic, that's what I was trying to do to the best of my ability. But one of the big things for sure too that's helped me progress really quickly, and you guys can take this for sure right away, and that is, don't actually try to win when you're trying to learn. Just get used to the mechanics, get used to the stepping, get used to how to counter, when to use your Vanish, how to block high mids and lows. Just practice, because right now it doesn't really matter. We're playing in day one here, and if you start to pick up some horrific habits because you're just worried about mashing the same thing over and over again so you can win or grind your way through the story mode and not actually learn the game, it's going to be a rough time if you ever actually decide you want to give ranked a shot. For example, I'm pretty sure I switch into 17 in a second here, and this is what I think this is the game, at least for me, this is the game where the stepping really started to click. As soon as I kind of got the idea and I understood how to make reads on my opponent, I said, you know what, let me just see what I can do here. On paper, 17 should get cooked, absolutely cooked, by Super Saiyan God Goku, but I go in and I do some stuff right here. This was a clip from the intro as well, and the reason why I even call this a clip is because of how the sequencing actually goes here. For the most part, if you're someone who's just trying to spam supers and you're just charging, and like maybe you're playing with your friends and they allow you to charge all the way up, then by all means. But the majority of the games you're going to win, whether if it's in a custom battle or if it's in online or whatever, the majority of the games you're going to win is going to be straight hands and key blasts. If someone just stands there and lets you do your supers, then I don't know what's going on. If they let you do it, I mean, a dub's a dub. If they let you do it, then by all means. But you want to make sure that you know how to fight up close, because if you don't, a good player or even like a super level or like the highest level CPU, they're going to jump on you and just go crazy. So at least for me, with regards to stepping, I will say that when I was kind of figuring it out, I didn't really know why I was stepping to the left or to the right or stepping back. But I kind of figured it out in this game, and for the most part, at least for me, I like to step to the side when I think someone's going to try and go for a grab. And if they go for that grab, I'm making a read. If they go for this grab, and I actually do happen to get my step, they are wide open for whatever I want. If I want to go for a point blank super, I can do that. If I want to go for a grab myself, I can do that as well. I will say that if I'm going to step back, I'm typically not going to try and go for a grab myself, because if they don't go for a grab, or they just stand there and block and I step back, now I put myself out of range. So if you're going to try and grab them, then do a step to the side. If you want to go for a smash or a charged attack, then step back. I think stepping back is also at least decent if your opponent is going to go for like an explosive wave, like just a small one. Then if you step back, you can make that whiff, and then you can go for a punish with something else, maybe a special of your own, or you can wait for it to finish, then go for a grab or something else. And then here at the end, I think after this final flash here, I think I switch into Kefla here. And I just switched into Kefla because I don't even think I played as her during this game, or maybe I did at the beginning, I don't remember, but I wanted to give her some love and just kind of see what I could do. And I think I actually get cooked here. This might be trouble. Now I just stand here and, oh, you know what? I think I had what was it called? Wild Sense. Yo, this is a fun fact for you guys. If you are someone who does not use your buffs, bro, you are missing out massively. Wild Sense might be one of the most broken buffs in the game, at least so far. And the reason why I say that is because there is no visual or audio cue for your opponent to actually know that you've initiated Wild Sense. Yes, it takes 2 skill stocks, but they need to really be paying attention to know for a fact that you've actually activated it. Because if they just YOLO and try and rush in or go for a super, you can just start charging a super and you will teleport out of the way and get a perfect punish every single time. So that shit is broken. So definitely start using your buffs. Of course, there's other buffs that actually give your key blasts and your melee attacks more damage, and I think there's also something that does like your defense as well too. Those are all great and well, but Wild Sense, if you're playing a character, I think Teen Gohan also has Wild Sense in Super Saiyan 2. Bro, hands down, my favorite character, bro. Super Saiyan 2, Teen Gohan with Wild Sense and Father-Son Kamehameha. Like, this character is insane. I don't know what they were thinking making the character so cheap as far as destruction points, but brother, if you have not tried this character yet, you absolutely have to. And right here I actually use the Wild Sense and I try to buffer my energy blast right there, but you actually can't. So if you're going to try to use Wild Sense or anything like that, there's not much of a buffer system in this game. So I actually messed up and I just threw out a random kick over top of that over top of the beam. It's kind of cringy, but it is what it is, and we're still trying to learn the timings of everything, so it could have been a good punish, but I just messed it up. But anyways guys, as the video is winding down, let me know in the comments, who is your favorite character that you've played as so far? And I'll be honest, I haven't even played every character in the game yet, but for me it's got to be Teen Gohan. But anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, and as always, have a great day.